How close was it to you leaving Doctor Who that this role came up?
Really close. We were having discussions about it whilst I was filming my exit, and talking about kind of, you know, scripts and going forward and potentially this being the next thing. So we started filming. I pretty much went straight into prep, like had to do straight into horse riding training, waltz training, voice coach, you know, so it was a bit of like a boot camp before we started.
Oh my goodness, how long did waltz training take? That's interesting.
Longer for the guys, I think. But it was like we had like big choreographed dances that kind of like went through the stories as well. And voice coach was probably the longest. And trying to learn to play piano, that was impossible.
What do you mean about the voice coach? What sort of things did they have to? Is it RP that they make you do, or I'm not sure. We don't have.
Kind
monarchs.
of.
Yeah.
It's kind of it's a bit more specific. It's kind of like trying to get down her voice, I suppose, which is RP, but it's regal, but it's accessible and going between public and private. So it's quite a specific voice, I think.
Wow, that's tough. So how much research did you have to do? Did you read a lot of books?
I didn't have to. I didn't really have to do any,
Solid
but
script?
yeah, it is. But there was. I mean, you kind of can't help it. She's got all of her diaries have been released. You know, there's so many biographies. She's got a sketchbook that she painted herself, going from like when she was really little, self-portraits, photos of Albert. She's pretty fascinating. So you kind of the page just keeps on turning, really.
So tell me who the young Victoria is when we first meet her. What kind of a young woman is she? She's not called Victoria to start with.
She was called Drina. That was her. So initially, her parents called her Drina, and that's what she was growing up knowing, like being known as. But she's very forthright, very vibrant, very spirited, tempestuous, young and inexperienced in lots of ways, but yet has this kind of this vein of iron, this kind of stubbornness and impatience, I suppose, which is kind of why she ends up being kind of as great and as strong as she was, but really flawed, very, very flawed. But I love that about her. It kind of is what makes her human, but and funny. I find her quite funny as well.
What did you find funny about her? I love that she has the dolls in the first episode too.
Yeah, she has. Well, when we meet her in the series, we see her very, very young, because obviously because we don't start earlier than when she became queen. So the queen that we meet in episode 1 is a very, you know, she's very naive. She's quite vulnerable. She's you know, she's in this position which she hasn't quite owned yet and is trying to work her way through it, but very much by herself. So during the series, we really kind of see her grow into the Queen Victoria as most people know, which is kind of more impatient and vivid and tempestuous.